Why, hello there. Jacob. And today, thought it'd be a good time as ever to preview this upcoming matchup. The season turning matchup, potentially. Against a team that absolutely mollywomped the Bears into next Thursday. Yeah, I mean, that was an ass whooping of a game if I've ever seen one. And what team am I talking about? Why, it is none other than these guys. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Week 4 matchup at US Bank Stadium against the one and only Cleveland Browns. Now, the Vikings and the Browns have had actually a pretty interesting history in the past, including the Ahmad Rashad Hail Mary game way back in the day. The Vikings beating them in 2017 in London, the year that the Browns went 0-16, which, boy, that seems like a lifetime ago now, don't it? Oh, God. That seems like that never happened. It's amazing just the last couple of years how much the Browns have gone from a laughingstock to a legitimate threat in the NFL. And you know what? About fucking time, honestly. I mean, as a Vikings fan, it's nice to see these teams that have just had so much shit fed to them year in and year out and week in and week out. It's finally nice to see some struggling franchises actually get back into relevancy. But anyway, enough of kissing the Browns' ass here. This is going to be a tough game for the Vikings. Again, this is going to be a tough game for the Vikings. Because in 2013, well, granted, 2013 is again another season I'd like to forget. Also, unintentionally ties into what I'm wearing right here. If you saw my video yesterday, you'll understand. But anyway, back to the game here. The Browns are coming off, as I said, an ass whooping of the Bears, where the Browns defense tallied 9 sacks against the Chicago Bears. So, point of emphasis number 1 is going to be neutralize that defensive line, because good God, is that defensive line, I mean, in my opinion, they're a top 5 defensive line, with Myles Garrett manning or hoisting the man, or manning the sails, or whatever analogy you want to use there. Yeah, you might want to stop number 95. He's kind of good. And he went off for 4.5 sacks last week. Granted, the Chicago Bears, again, were basically throwing Justin Fields to the wolves, and Kirk Cousins has been around long enough to know better than that. I mean, so hopefully we'll be Kubiak. But again, the Browns you cannot take lightly anymore. And, that defensive line scares me because of what they did and because of what they can do and have done. I mean, good golly. But anyway. Yeah, and of course their secondary isn't too bad either. They got some key pieces there, like John Johnson is a pretty good safety, at least when he's not committing penalties. The rookie in Koromoa, he's pretty damn good from what I've seen too. I mean, they have some decent corners and guys like Denzel Ward. And, all in all, they have a pretty solid defense that they've been building over time. Which, again, kind of scares me a little bit with our offensive line. But thankfully, our offensive line, for the most part, has actually been kind of up to the challenge recently, at least over the last couple of weeks. I mean, last week, I think we maybe gave up a sack, if that was it. I mean, Kirk Cousins had all day back there to throw the ball. And, we all know what happens when you give Kirk Cousins a lot of time to throw the football. He'll carve you up like a Thanksgiving turkey. So, the key is going to be our offensive line holding back their defensive line. Because if they can keep getting the pressure up and stuff like that and stopping Dalvin, It could be a long day. And, boy, their offense, too. I mean, Odell Beckham. I don't know if Jarvis Landry is going to be in or not, but OBJ's back. And again, if you follow a lot of fantasy pundits, they say to basically start him over a secondary, and I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, but again, OBJ is a special receiver when he's healthy. So, let's put it this way, I have him on my fantasy. And of course, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, who can be pretty hot when he's on. They have like decent tight end in Austin Hooper. I mean, their offensive line is stout, too. But to be fair, though, Cleveland has usually had a pretty decent offensive line, even going back to the days of, like, Joe Thomas, in the mid to late 2000s there. But just for whatever reason, the Browns could just never get everything together. Well, now, damn it, I'm pretty sure they're getting pretty much everything together here. And I'm not ready to say they're Super Bowl caliber yet. I mean, they're still the Chiefs. I mean, you can't rule out the Chargers at this point either. Maybe not so much the Patriots anymore, but there's definitely some teams out there in the AFC that, will make it difficult. Hell, even in their own division. I mean, the Bengals are no joke so far. The Ravens are, well, we'll see. I mean, all the injuries and all that stuff. So, yeah, they may even have a hard time getting out of the AFC North. So, but yeah, kind of tying that back in there. How can our secondary stop all of these weapons? Because, holy moly, that's not going to be an easy task. I mean, like I say, Chubb, Hunt, Odell Beckham. I mean, 3 guys right there that could tear a game open by themselves. Austin Hooper is good. Their offensive line is good. Baker Mayfield can make plays happen from literally nothing. So, yeah, I mean, thankfully, though, we're at U.S. Bank Stadium, and boy, last week was absolutely beautiful to watch and hear just all the rowdy fans and stuff. But again, like I say, thankfully, we're at home for this one. So, again, it's not going to be an easy game by any means. And this game could go either way, in my opinion, because really, the Browns and the Vikings are kind of mirror images of each other. In ways. I mean, they have the superstar players that could absolutely torch you. Or they also have players that could make your defense get torched. Or your offense get bottled up or, slung back and all that stuff. Because, yeah, both teams have just absolute studs at certain positions that are very much positions of strength, weakness. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Just looking at how similar these teams are, at least on paper, with the superstars and all that stuff. So, but yeah, basically to kind of recap here, our offense, can we keep Kirk Cousins upright against that nasty defensive line? Thielen, Jefferson, Osborne. I even like how we utilized Conklin, Madison, and or Cook. We'll see here because I'm still not 100% sure how Cook is feeling. I mean, he's feeling better, but we'll wait and see if he actually is playing in this game or not. So, and also, can guys like Patrick Peterson, Cam Dantzler, because Rashad Breeland can't stop a damn fly at this point. Good God. And yeah, for some reason, we always keep the same players out there, even if they're not up to snuff, basically. I don't freaking get it. But anyway. So yeah, it'll be interesting also to see if we get more Cam Dantzler and all that stuff in here too. So, yeah, again, it's a noon game on CBS this week, so it's nice and early, get it out of the way and all that stuff. And like I said before, in about a week's time, I'll be up in the cities going to the Vikings-Lions game. So I'm very excited for that. And stay tuned because, again, I'll also try to maybe get some footage and some videos and stuff like that too while I'm up there. So, but yeah, also in other news too, I know the Wild have a preseason game on tonight too, so I might kind of follow along with that, but I probably really won't do a lot of like actual recapping of them unless the games are on like national television or something like that. But just because, like I say, it is preseason and all that stuff. Granted, the regular season's coming up pretty damn soon, though, all things considered. But again, yeah, I mean, that'll pretty much conclude this preview video for week 4. But yeah, one last thing about this game, too, is it is crucial that the Vikings can come away with a win here, because if we can win this game, get back to 500 at 2-2, going into Detroit, and then into Carolina, which, by the way, Carolina's all of a sudden looking like a juggernaut. Out of nowhere. Again, I don't know if that's the product of the teams they've played or not, but so that's not going to be an easy game either. But yeah, I mean, if we could go into the bye week at or above 500, so we're talking like 4-2, 3-3, something along those lines, going into Dallas, which is another home game on Sunday night. I mean, we could be right there in the thick of things. So, again, this game is crucial to at least get us back to 500. And then going into Detroit, I like our chances against Detroit. But again, Detroit literally had to have Justin Tucker kick a NFL record breaking 66-yard field goal to beat them. So, yeah, can never take those guys lightly either. But again, this is a must win to keep our momentum going, because we have all the ability in the world at this point, and it's finally nice seeing everything click. So get this done. Let's get this dub, and we'll see you afterwards. So until we meet again, this is Jacob. Have a good day.